rev it. Alright guys, here we are with a front bumper cover for a 2006 Honda Odyssey Touring Edition. I say Touring Edition because the Touring Edition, the XLs come with sensors, and the bumper specifically has to be made for it so it could hold the fog lamps and have space for the holes in the sensor. The regular editions do not have those features, so when you buy a bumper you need to make sure those features are part of it. I have a loose clip here. This probably goes here. Alright, so you might not need them. I think I got the wrong ones, but you might not need them. But for 10 bucks, you know, you get 50 of these. You know, don't have to worry about breaking them. Alright, so remove the top cover. Alright, we got the top two here, and then the rest of it's on the bottom and the fender liner, and then the bumper should pop right off. Alright, before we dive any further, we want to do one thing, is we want to make sure this is actually the correct part. So it's got the holes, got the fog lamp holes, and looks good. You want to make sure it's not damaged either, otherwise you got a whole host of other problems. But all the mounting points look strong. Mounting points here, mounting points here, and they look good. Alright, no damage. We continue. So there should be a splash shield under here. Mine doesn't seem to have it. Guess the guy never put it back on, so I have to replace that eventually. Other than that, there should be rivets here, plastic ones just like the ones on top that you would have to remove. And then, so I guess now my bumper is actually free to move. I will be pulling it apart now. Rather simple. This is the reason why I'm changing my bumper. It's actually cracked on this side, so this is actually a relatively easy removal. On the sides here, mine may not have it, as it was, this is broken, but right here there should be a 10mm screw or a bolt. I'm gonna find out if the other side is connected. I'm gonna check it out. So this is the screw that came out from the side. There should be two of them. I only have one, so I gotta replace this. So this is the damage. If you can see, it's cracked on the side, that's why it's not holding up. Other than that, I realized that I have a body kit on my bumper. So this piece I'm gonna have to remove. It's held in by bumper tape, and then I gotta put it on the other piece, and we should be good. Here's a few no-nos, and you know, I'm not a professional mechanic, but this is definitely a no-no. Loose hanging boxes like this in the wheel well, that's a no-no. That's the HID system. So I'm gonna mount them somewhere. I mean, simple zip tie can probably secure that down somewhere. This is just, that's a hack job. Yeah, see, there's buzzing in my stereo system because these things are loose. They're just hanging around. Next order of business, I gotta remove the fog lights. So along with this is I have to remove this chrome trim. So I gotta remove these rivets here. There's 3 of them, so that's not too bad. That's off, and then we'll be on our merry way. Alright, got the upper trims off, got the license plate off. We'll work on the fog lights now. I'll tell you, the things you find are super scary. Now I know why my proximity sensors don't work now, because they were actually not even plugged in. There's nothing wrong with the wiring, it looks like, so I'll plug that back in and see what happens. So since I'm working on the HIDs, I disconnected my negative terminal battery, make sure I don't get electrocuted. And since I'm not working on it for some time, all the capacitors should discharge. Other than that, the other thing I have to do is I have to check my water bottle, because this was leaking when I tried to fill it. I'm pretty sure there's a hole in it, and I have a replacement up here that I got from the junkyard. So since I have a body kit, I have an extra step. I got to take off the bottom kit and remount it on the new bumper. This is easy. There's a Phillips head screwdriver. Goes right in, takes it out. So when removing aftermarket bumper kits, you got to remember there are mounting tabs too. They look like this. So they go onto the original bumper, and then you screw the screw onto this. Alright, so I'm going to do that and remove that and then take off the fog lights. Alright, so fog lights are generally mounted with just Phillips head screwdrivers or Torx head screwdrivers from American cars. But generally Phillips heads. So just unscrew them and take them off. Tiny, see, look at that. 1, 2 here. Should be a third one on the bottom, maybe, maybe not. Let's see if it's loose. Yep, one more here. One more here. Right here. So when taking these off, sometimes they might feel a little stuck. They're not that stuck. It's just, yeah, see, it's loose now. Should pop right out. Well, let's disconnect it from the bumper first. So I guess disconnect all these wires and we should be good. Alright, looks like hidden under here there's a 8mm bolt or a Phillips head screwdriver, so you can take it off either way. So, gonna get that and it should be free. Alright, so I got it out. And what is interesting is there is this little white rivet that's on this side of the goes like this. It's on this side, so you gotta actually pull the bracket out and then the light literally just falls off. I'll show it to you on this side of the bracket. So, see that? That's actually holding the light in. It's a little hole that connects. It's just bracing, but you do have to take out this to release the fog light from the bracket. It looks like my front lip kit has a little bit of damage, but that shouldn't affect it too much. I'm gonna unmount it. So it looks like I gotta take off these. And that's the only thing holding it back on. So 10mm bolts, and they come right off. So with any good mounting job, you don't want to pry on this because there's always mounting tape. So mine was behind here, so I had to just slowly cut through it. But yeah, I got it off pretty good. Gotta clean it up. Maybe fix up the broken pieces, which I could do with some plastic putty or something. Should reinforce it a little better. Mount it back on. No conclusion. Last order of business: the proximity sensors. All you have to do is pull this bracket out, which comes right off. See, comes right off, and then just push the sensor out like so. Just kind of wiggle and push. It'll go out, and it'll start to turn, and then you can pull it out from the front. You see? You want to keep pushing it. Don't pull it. You'll break it. Want to push. All right, I'm gonna need to answer this. I mean, the more I work on this car, the more I realize how fucking stupid. I got like open-ended wires here. I got a fucking random wire. It's not connected to anything. The shit you find in cars, I tell you. Other than that, I mean, I'm just gonna mount it here with a zip tie. I don't know how hard that possibly could have been. I mean, it's got holes here. I can fucking do it in a heartbeat. I don't know why this guy's so lazy. Other than that, it looks pretty good. Gonna mount that up, make sure it's secure. Gets rid of that little buzzing noise I get getting on the the speaker system when I turn on the lights. So that might just be because this box is hanging loose. That's no good for anybody, because you know, if it swings hard enough, it's gonna fucking snap. How hard is it to secure a box like this? It's just laziness. I mean, look, it's not tight yet, but it's simple as that. I put it through here, it's never gonna move. It's in the perfect position where you can actually just use a zip tie and tie it down. It's stupid and lazy. Okay, so here, a little aluminum thing here. I believe that's an amp, I'm not really sure, I forget. But you know, any type of heavy object swinging back and forth on wires is usually never a fucking good idea. It's not that hard to secure on something a little bit more secure. This is next to the mounting point on the frame, so it's actually quite secure there. It's not going to move too much. I mean, these are simple things, you know. It's just laziness on the fucking installer's part. Alright, so now we're going to unmount the water bottle for the windshield washer fluid. It's 10mm bolts here. It looks like there's one down here. Should be another one somewhere else, but should be a relatively easy job. Just gonna unmount it. I noticed I knew there was a leak, so there's a hole right here. So I can fill it up in this point, and then it'll just leak. That's no good. I got a replacement, so let's change that out. I'm gonna disconnect the sensors here. This is the sensor and pump, I believe. Other than that, easy peasy. Should be a pretty easy job.